today I'm starting a new project. I'm going to put a table on a Singer sewing machine treadle base, make a small side table to sell in our flea market. But there's some other projects that are getting ready to happen, and I'll take just a minute and get started on that, and I'm going to gather up some wood and I'll show you that. This is the pile of wood that I have, and I'm going to dig through this and find a couple of good pieces. The one thing I hope that I don't have under here is a snake. One thing about living in the woods and having a stack of wood, this wood has been under here for a couple of years and it's starting to dry, and this wood on top was just there for weight to hold this tarp down. When I get done, I'll put this wood up. I think it's going to be just fine. Got what I needed and covered it back up. This is the base that I'm going to use to make the table with. You can see that it's an old Singer sewing machine base. The sewing machine wasn't any good, and it has since become scrap iron. And rather than turn this into scrap iron, I decided to make a small table with it. First thing I have to do is cut the length that I want this, and I have to cut this end off here because I got some splits back up here. And I'll cut this wormhole out here, and I've got another piece out there, so I should get two pieces out of this. But I'll go ahead and cut this end off. It's looking good. I'll go ahead and cut a piece about 37 inches long. And the reason I'm cutting it 37 inches instead of 36 inches is to allow for scrap that I'll have left over. So we'll cut this at 37 inches. One good thing about this Singer base is it comes in handy as a sawhorse. May have to go get another board because I need 4 of these. Okay. This tool makes a lot of racket by itself. Then when you add the dust collector to it, it gets to where you can't hardly stand. One of the things that you need to wear with this is your hearing protection and your eye protection. That one's good and flat. Okay, the next step is to cut these boards to an even 6 inches. And you can see that it's going to be a real close fit. So I'm going to turn these 2 boards that are 6 inches down to 5.5. make that 5 3/4. And I think that will, yeah, that'll cut me a clean edge, 5 3/4 of an inch. Now I'm going to take the boards down to hopefully 3/4 of an inch. Might have to take them a little lower, I don't know. I told you earlier this was tulip poplar. It's not, this is oak. My mistake. Anyway, hang on. I got this grizzly planer off of Facebook Marketplace. It was in pieces when I got it. And as I looked at it, I decided it was good, so I paid $400 for it. Brought it home, put it back together, and put some new blades on it and new belts. Cleaned it up as best I could, and it has been a champ. But I have to run it at the moment. I don't have 220 power to the barn. Well, I have it, but I don't have it for this grizzly planer. But I run it off of my generator. So I'm going to crank the generator up and crank this up and get busy. Now that I have the boards thickened, they're about 5/8 of an inch thick instead of a 1/2 inch, which will give me a little more wood to work with. I need to true up all the edges. So I go back over this edge one more time and then come over this edge and true it up. Okay, I'm ready to glue this up. I got 4 panels that I'm going to put on here. I'm going to rearrange these, but you want to have 1 grain up, 1 grain up, 1 grain down, 1 grain up, and 1 grain down all the way there. And I'm going to put the 2 widest boards on the inside. Other 2 boards on the outside, and that'll give it a more symmetrical look there, because in the end product here, this panel is a little wider than 24 inches. In fact, it's 24 1/4, so I'm going to cut off 1/8 of an inch off of each side. The wood that I use is Titebond Ultimate. The Ultimate Wood Glue. This is for interior and exterior. And this is probably the best glue that I know of. I like it better than Gorilla Glue or 3M or anything like that. This is Titebond 3 Ultimate Wood Glue. And it says it's used by, rated #1 by pros. Well, I'm not a pro, but I like it. So let's go ahead and glue this up. And what we'll do is put a bead here. Now I'm going to true up this end here, mark it to be cut off on the table saw on both sides. It's times like these that I wish I had a sliding table saw, but I don't, so I'll make do with I don't want to reach towards these cut-off pieces with my bare hands. It's while it's still spinning, because it's kind of dangerous for an old fella. But lower the blade down for the next cuts. But there you have it. Now I need to sand these edges up, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it inside. About got this sanded down the way I want it. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more smooth sanding on here. Get some of these marks out of it as best I can. I'm using 150 grit paper here right now to try to get it cleaned up and looking good. I've rounded over the edges here with my router and cleaned that up. It's looking better. I think I'm going to put some clear gloss lacquer on here. And leave it like it is on a natural finish. I think it'll look good. Keep in mind, this wood came from my place. This is white oak, and I had it up at my sawmill. It's been drying for the last 2 years, and so it'll be real stable. And look good. And whoever gets this table will get a product that's fairly well made, I think, and it'll look good in whatever situation or whatever atmosphere they want to put it in. Wipe it down. It feels really nice. Really nice. Putting these crossbars in here to mount the table to it, and I'm drilling the pilot holes for the security. This will keep the table tight. To the table, to mount the tabletop to the base of the treadle. This is the center line, and these are the two outsides here. So we'll put those, mount those there. We're going to use the same screw to go down into the board here. And there you have it. A tabletop made out of oak, 36 inches wide, 24 inches deep, and it's setting, let's see, how high is it setting? Setting about that high, almost 30 inches high, which is about the right height for a small table like this. It's about the right height for a small table like this, and I think it looks pretty good. Tell me what you think.